Okay, now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to show you how to navigate your way to Summit Mac and how to use it while you're there. First thing what you're going to try to do is you're just going to go into your Find Friends area and just type in Fort Wayne, Summit Mac, and then there you go. You can find it right away. Now, one of the things that you might think is hidden, and if you have trouble finding it, you can go directly to this address. So it's facebook.com/Fort Wayne Summit Mac, all one word. Okay. All right. Well, pretty much you have officially reached the page. And now what you can do is you could just click right here to like the page. And if you would like, you can tell it to get notifications, and then you could add interest list, and then you can unlike it if you choose that you don't no longer want to be part of the page. And then over here, your pictures will show up if you like it, and you can see here we have 22 likes. Okay, now what I'd like to do is show you how to create a link onto the page. So basically what you just do is find this little area right here where it says it's a status, okay? And then what you do is you navigate to another place and you copy an address for a website or of an article or something like that you are interested in. And then you just copy and paste it, and then you come back over here, and if you want, you can just press paste, Command V, and then your article shows up in there. And you could say, okay, this is pretty neat. All right. And then what you could do is you can delete this if you'd like. And then what you could do is just say something about it. And this right here lets you choose where it's going to be posted. And in my particular case, I have 4 pages. I have my main page, and then I have my Summit Mac page, and then I have these 2 pages. And you want to make sure that it's on Summit Mac. And then what you do afterward is you can just press post. And if you want, you could take a look here so that you could schedule it, or you could backdate it, or you could just save it. Okay. And if you'd like, you can come over here and you could add things to it, like how you're feeling, different stuff, and stuff like that. And here you could choose the location of where you're at. Okay. And then we can just go ahead and post it. And then that's it. It's officially posted. Okay. And if you notice, it's just sitting there. You can't do much with it anymore. However, if you come up here, you can actually edit it. And you could say, hey, let's do some more things to it, one of these things. But one of the things that's kind of nice is if you do make a mistake, like say, like earlier I misspelled photos because I had fat fingers. What you could do is you could actually change that. You just come in here and say edit, and then it allows you to change it. Just type in photos properly. And then when you're done, just press done editing, and then it goes back. Now, when you're reading the article and you did not post it, even if you did post it, what you could do is you could say, I like it. And if you would like, that right there just says that you like it. And then if you want, you can comment on it. And then the comments, they just go right here. You can just kind of say, hey, that's an interesting article or something like that. And then if you'd like, you could share it. And sharing it gives you the opportunity to post it to someone else's timeline or your own or something like that. So you can choose where you want it to go. Okay. And say you're trying to just talk to somebody one-on-one, well, you can actually just send it in a private message, and you could do it like that. And then it's kind of nice. You could say what you want, and then you could choose where it goes and who sees it. You could say, okay, the public can see it, or only my friends, or you could choose more, and then you could have different categories. Okay. And then you just press post. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go up to events. Okay, so what we're going to do is earlier I created an event, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at events, and this is how you do it. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this event. This is an event from a month ago. Okay, and this basically just says when the event is, and where it is, and then any details that you want to say about it are right there. Okay. And then you can go from there. So, and then what you can do is you can click on here saying that you're going or you're not going. It's kind of up to you. And then you can invite people or you can edit it. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to copy this event. Okay. And for the purpose of me copying the event is I'm going to go ahead and schedule it for next week. Okay. So what I'm going to do now. Okay. Okay, and then we change the time. Okay, and I think everything else is the same. Okay. Okay. And here what you can do is you can choose the time that you want it to go. All right, and then we'll say 6:30 to 8:30. Then we'll change the date to the 11th. And then we'll have some information here. Now, none of this is really relevant anymore, because this is some old information from a previous meeting. Okay, but everything else is pretty much relevant. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip over real quick, and I'm going to get Fred's notes that he presented us in his last email. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete all of that. I'm going to take a look at this right here. I might even delete some of that at the top also, because Fred has taken some time to draft a pretty interesting email. And as you can see, there's some redundancy right here where we don't even need this. So I'm going to go ahead and delete all of this. And now all I have is what Fred said to us in the email. Okay. And I can change this every month if I would like, or I could just leave it, you know, if you want to have some sort of standard information. But it's nice because Fred is actually speaking to us in his emails. And then afterwards, when I'm done, I can just go ahead and say create. All right. And so now what we have here is in our actual calendar event, we actually have our meeting for this particular time frame. And what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to show you, just to kind of give you an idea. I'm going to go back to our main page, and I want you to see now that we have this meeting showing up in our on our main page now. And if you would like, you can still look for events and see the particular event that is now showing up. Okay, so it's up to you on how you'd look at it. Or if you want, you can also look over here. You can have a link on the side of your page, and then if you see right here, what you get now is some options to join. Okay, and it's basically just letting Fred or whoever is watching and seeing who's going, letting everybody know who is going to the meeting. And so you just press join, and then you're good to go. And it says that you're going. And if you would like, you can actually come here and see who is decided to go, and then you could see who is who's going, who's not going, or who is invited and stuff like that. All right, and as you can see here, Bernie has recently commented on liked my article that I just showed you how to post. And so that's something that you can do. And all he did was just liked it. He said, hey, that's an interesting article. I like that. And then you can do that. And then in here, you can just kind of take a look at what's going on. So you can see where I posted this, and then this is the actual meeting. And if you look here, it actually gives you some insight on the weather for that particular day also. Okay. All right. And this is what it looks like when Bernie or you decide to like something. All you have to do is just press the like button, which would be a like button if it wasn't an unlike, because I've already liked it. And then your name would show up there. And then you could see, you know, like if you're interested in contacting somebody or making someone else your friend, what you could do is I could come over here and just add Bernie as my friend, or I could message him. Okay. And if I wanted to, I could see all of his selfies.